Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, welcome to another Market Open stream. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. Two big things happened. So, let's discuss, are they good or not? And why it affects Bitcoin and why the next move will surprise you. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are starting out today at 108.5. All right, so roughly 1.3% lower than yesterday. It does look bad. However, we're, again, only 1.5%, 1.4% down from where we were yesterday. What happened? Let's talk about it. Okay, so we're starting out a day red. Normally speaking, okay, if you go back to like the last 100 FOMC meetings, that's exaggeration, not 100, but like the last 10 or so, you'll notice there's one trend. Powell is always hawkish, and whenever there's a FOMC meeting, there's always red the day afterwards. So this is almost like to be expected. I think maybe like once or twice out of the last few years that wasn't the case. But almost every single time it was red right afterwards. However, yesterday, like I said in my night video, Powell really went all out to try to scare markets. Okay, even CNBC said that. Using uncharacteristically strong language, Jerome Powell pushed back hard on another cut in December, which markets had been assigning about a 90% probability of happening. So that's the big takeaway, okay? Rather than just say, you know what, we'll see how the market reacts or how the economic reports or more data, whatever, and then we'll determine how December is. He used strong language that said, hey, it might not happen, right? Don't think that it's going to happen for sure. So he's just really trying to downplay this 90% plus percentage chance that we're going to get another rate cut. So that kind of set the tone afterwards yesterday. Yesterday was a really green day across all markets until this press conference, and he just told everyone to chill. There may not be another rate cut. And then now if you look at it, December's down to 68.8%, which is still good, above 50%. But this thing was hovering at 90%, and then it dropped 30% because of what Powell said. There was no reason for him to say that. Zero whatsoever. But, he's trying to stick it to the man at this point. And the man being Trump. He knows Trump wants more rate cuts. He knows Trump wants the stock market to go higher. And he is trying his hardest to make that not happen. Maybe because he feels like stock market could cause more inflation or too much economic activity. I don't know. Okay? But there was no reason for him to be that hawkish yesterday. He could have just said, hey, you know what? Again, let's just wait and see. Let's see how the data comes in the next month or so, and then we'll evaluate December. Rather than saying, no. We may not get another rate cut. There's a difference in terms of how you say it. Anyways, that was a big thing that happened, right? And like I said, normally speaking after FOMC meeting, you do have red. But this was uncharacteristically strong language that didn't need to happen. Even by CNBC reports. Okay, the second thing that happened is this. This is actually a good thing. So I'm actually surprised this didn't affect markets more today. So Trump had this nice meeting, 2-hour meeting with President Xi of China. And it went really well. This is what we got. Like really good results immediately. We didn't have to wait longer. Okay, so we formed a deal, a 1-year agreement to get all the rare earth stuff that we want. Why 1 year, you ask? Well, it's probably because China's like, you know what, you guys need to step up. You guys need to get your own source or whatever. And I'm sure the U.S. is going to talk to a lot of partners to increase their rare earth supplies, right, from other regions of the world, and even U.S. U.S. is one of the biggest producers of rare earth as well. So for the next year, we don't have to worry about this thing, okay? And in return, Trump is getting rid of that 100% tariff that's supposed to come November and decreased the fentanyl-linked tariffs by 10%. So overall, this avoids a prolonged trade war thing, okay? And China started buying soybeans as well. So both sides wanted to get something done, and that's what was done, right? This is actually really good. This is the best case scenario that we could have hoped for. So this is actually really good. We may have to, like, you know, after 1 year, maybe there's more stuff that has to be discussed with rare earth stuff. But I think within the next year, we will probably ourselves increase production dramatically and also tell our partners to increase dramatically to kind of offset the controls China put on other countries, right? And even supposedly in Beijing and China, they're also very thrilled about this. You know, overall, both sides kind of needed each other to work out a deal, and they did. That was it. And then this other thing, I don't know why this is such a big news, but it is. You know, they're still willing to work with the U.S. on separating TikTok, right? You either do it or don't. Like, at this point, it's such a big talking point for this social media app. Yeah, I mean, I love it, but still, it's not that important. If they just ban it, I'm sure there'll be another replacement, or everyone goes to Instagram Reels or something like that. It's not the end of the world. But they're still talking about it, so this is still something that's ongoing. But anyways, this was good. Yesterday's meeting was really good. Not like Powell's press conference, which really just, you know, upset things. Yeah. Yep. And then also, this has nothing to do with anything, but I think it has to do with Russia. Trump orders the Pentagon to resume nuclear weapons testing. This hasn't been done in like 50 years. Like, I don't think we tested a nuclear bomb in forever. No, not 50 years, 30 years. Has not conducted a live weapons test since 1992. Do we need to really test more nuclear weapons? I'm sure ours work just fine. I don't think they just stop working. Anyways, that's never good. Never good. I did also see this. This is, again, revolving around AI and people thinking that AI is not going to take jobs. Google had a fantastic earnings. Facebook did not. Meta did not. Well, they had a fantastic earnings, but they had this big one-time charge, and it's related to Big Beautiful Bill. I don't know what it is. It's like a $14 billion charge. I don't know if it's like a tax or something, so they're crashing today. Microsoft also took a charge of like $4 billion due to AI. But basically, AI is going to be the future. No company is going to stop it. It's only going to keep going. So recently we saw Amazon lay off like 12,000 people. YouTube is now offering buyouts as well. So it's like everyone is starting to recognize that AI can replace people. We don't need as many people around anymore. So again, I made this point a few days ago and before. within the next 10 years, you have to maximize your earnings. A lot of people will lose their jobs in the next 10 years. I predict at a minimum 1% per year going forward. Maybe not in all of the countries, but in the US, 1% every year. So in 10 years, we could be at 15%, if not more, unemployment. It's going to be a real thing. So don't think that your job is going to be safe forever. It's not. And speaking of AI, OpenAI is eyeing $1 trillion evaluation when they IPO sometime next year. Don't know when, but you know it's going to happen. It's going to make them one of the most valuable companies on the planet. And that is not going to stop. All right, now moving back to Bitcoin and crypto. Well, outside of Powell, interesting enough, yesterday, what he said was so scary, it caused Wall Street to actually sell pretty hard. We had a 471 million outflow day yesterday, including even from BlackRock. Normally speaking, BlackRock does not have outflow. But yesterday, even with BlackRock, so that's not good. Not good at all. See, this is the power of Powell sometimes. He just scares people with what he says. It really just like, yesterday's rally just really cut in half immediately after what he said. Ethereum also had a negative day, but not nearly as much as Bitcoin. Minus 81.4 million outflow, but BlackRock still took in yesterday. Maybe due to enthusiasm over some of these other ETFs. For example, Solana. Solana has Bitwise, which added another 47 million. And Grayscale's own debuted yesterday, funded with 103 million, and they took in 1.4 million. So Solana's ETF still positive, despite yesterday having Bitcoin selling off. So we'll see how this goes. If Solana ETFs are going to take in as much as Ethereum ETF, if so, it's going to be a lot more impactful for Solana since the market cap and overall supply is a lot less. So we'll see. We'll see. And I haven't heard any numbers. I don't know where you even track like the Litecoin Hedera ETFs. I don't think there's a lot of volume on either one, if I'm being honest, but I don't know where to track it. It's not here. All right. Outside of that, you got Michael Saylor, one of the biggest Bitcoin bulls out there, still boldly calling that 150,000 is the target for Bitcoin at the end of the year. Okay. I saw that interview. We actually tweeted out on X, and he's like, well, 150,000 for sure, and there's no reason within the next, what did he say, 8 to 10 years? Or no, 4 to... I forgot what he said. Something like within the next 8 to 10 years, Bitcoin will be at 1 million, and then 20-year plus it'll be 20 million, something along those lines, right? And I agree. Although he did, I believe, decrease his estimation. I believe he said it was like 250,000 earlier this year, in terms of the top for this year. And I even said it too. I still think it's 200,000 plus, but you know, we'll see. And it turns out not only does he have a ton of Bitcoin in strategy, he himself also holds 17,732 Bitcoin and has 1.77 billion unrealized profit. That was stated years ago. I don't know if he actually revealed that recently. I remember in 2021 or something like that, he revealed he had about 17,000. So it could be a lot more than that now. So it's not only strategy that's holding so much. He himself personally is holding that much too. That's what you call a diamond hand holder, basically. He's going to continue to push forward. I'll say this is just like a contrarian view, though. Okay. Saylor is now more important to Bitcoin than Satoshi. Okay? And the reason why I say that is because if he ever, because we know who he is, not like Satoshi, if he ever decides to sell, it would be more harmful to Bitcoin than Satoshi selling. That's my opinion. Because he has started this movement of DCAing, starting a Bitcoin treasury, and never selling basically forever. And other companies have followed. And Wall Street obviously paid attention. And you got guys like BlackRock and Vanguard and everyone that's buying up MicroStrategy shares. So he is now probably the most influential person in all of Bitcoin. And he's not the original OG. There's still other guys like Max Kaiser that came in way earlier. But he is like now the face of it. Like even if Satoshi sold, it would be bad, but it wouldn't be nearly as bad if Saylor saying, I'm going to start selling Bitcoin. That's my opinion. That's how important he is to the space now. All right. Outside of just Saylor, you got other countries like Germany. They want to start a Bitcoin treasury. Okay. And France also wants to. France also wants to buy 2% of supply. So you still have other nations besides the US that recognizes that fiat is garbage and Bitcoin is the one that you want to load up on. Okay. So the point is, Bitcoin is growing. The ecosystem is strong. You can't judge it, okay, just by price alone. Even though that's a big factor, there's a reason why you have other countries and you got guys like Saylor and you got companies like Metaplanet that believes in it so much, they will continue to load up and DCA. And even the US, we have our own reserve, but we haven't come up with a plan to add more to it. Eventually we will. You know, Trump and Bessent and Lutnick, they'll figure something out in terms of how to add more Bitcoin to our treasury. It's just that they have more important things to work on right now. Believe it or not, Bitcoin closed the second highest month of spot volume. That's a lot to say. And even though, I got something to show you guys, even though a lot of you guys are saying like, well, you know, there's no October. This month has been absolutely horrible. And this and that, and people are just getting all super bearish. I decided to bring this up, okay, just to look at where we are in October. Now, obviously, there's only 2 more days. We got today and tomorrow. But we are only down 3.4% for this month, okay? So just to put things in perspective, we're not down like 13%. We're not down like 18%, or we're not down anything huge. We're simply down 3.4%, and we're down 1.5% from yesterday. So if you didn't count that 1.5%, we're down just 1.5%. But anyways, do we still have a chance to flip into the green? Like say tomorrow we have a big rally day, or later today. Yes, we still could flip into the green. It's not that bad. It's not that horrible. A lot of people are making it sound like we're down like 20% for the month. We are not. Right now, I know there's a lot of manipulation, right? We talked about it in market makers liquidating left and right, and there's a lot of suppression of price. We got Powell being very, very hawkish for no reason. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but there's always a lot of stuff going on. But it's not the end of the world for Bitcoin. We will recover. We will get through this. We got a couple more days. Let's see if we end up in the green. There's still plenty of opportunity for us to flip to the green side. Okay? Just want to point that out. Because based on like sentiment, a lot of people, like, you would think, you would guess like we're down like 15% for October. We are not. Yep. Open interest is also very high. All-time high, in fact, at 94 billion. A lot of people placing 140,000 call options on Deerbit. So a lot of traders are still betting that we will make that next move before the end of the year. And I talked about this, FOMC meeting. Almost every single time after FOMC meeting, you have a market dip. But I didn't know this. After the last 3, 4 FOMC meetings, Bitcoin actually dipped. And what happened after every dip? We made a new high. I didn't know that. Look at it. We had one in June. We dipped about 6.5%. Then we made a new high. We had one in July. We dipped about 5.4%. And then we made a new high. We dipped in September 7%. And then we made a new high. That's 3 in a row. And we dipped 5% from our previous peak. So are we going to make a new high now? There's nothing stopping Bitcoin. There really isn't. So I guess we'll see. Next 2 days, today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last Friday of this month. It's a big options and futures expiration day. And let's see what happens afterwards. Outside of these things, anything else important? Let's see. 21 Shares wants to come out the Hyperliquid ETF. So there's that. I don't know if anyone really wants. I do feel like a lot of these fund companies are now just throwing ETF applications left and right, even though there's no demand for it. I really don't think there is a lot of demand for Hyperliquid ETFs in Wall Street. Hyperliquid within the crypto community, great. A lot of demand. People like to use DEXs. But does Wall Street really want an ETF on Hyperliquid? I don't know. It just doesn't seem there's that much demand. Ondo listed 100 plus US tokenized stocks on BNB chain. I guess they got approval. So now, if you wanted to, you can buy tokenized stocks on Ondo. Although if you're in the US, you could just buy it on the exchange. But if you're overseas, if you want exposure to Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, you can get it on Ondo now. So good for them. Consensus plans IPO. And Mastercard is buying some company called Zero Hash for somewhere between 1.5 to 2 billion, which is a lot for a crypto company. So good for them. Good for them. All right, that's it. Oh, look at that. Dow turned green. S&P flipped up. NASDAQ flipped up. Let's see. Today, Coinbase and Robinhood down. Nvidia had a really good day yesterday. Broadcom had a really good day. They're both down. Tesla's down. AI and tech is not doing well because of Meta. And I still don't get why there's this supposedly there's this big 13 billion thing that they had to write down. And here, the company reported a 16 billion tax charge from the Big Beautiful Bill Act. I don't know what that means. Why they all of a sudden had to pay a $16 billion tax charge. Maybe they just didn't pay enough taxes. I don't know, but that caused Wall Street to really sell them off. Bitcoin is holding at 108 right now. A lot of alts are struggling. And that's it. And Clash is still holding strong, a little bit below 50 million. But that's because everyone's so fearful in crypto right now. But we're still the strongest community project in the space. By far. It's not even close. All right. Let's do some Q&A. What is going on with ETH? I need some Coke. Yeah, ETH is down 3%, but Solana is down 4% today. It broke through this resistance again, or support level. I mean, like right now, basically retail freaks out. Retail looks at Bitcoin and then they're like, okay, it's time to sell, and everyone sells. I don't even think it's the whales manipulating the alts. Whales and market makers may be manipulating Bitcoin, but it's just look at a live chat. Half of you guys are like so fearful and you're threatening to leave, or you're saying crypto's done. It's because of retail. Retail is so scared about everything. They're just dumping every chance they have. No one is holding right now. But people that do, and DCA, are going to be the ones that get rewarded. It's not like we haven't seen this before. We've seen much worse before. It's just people got used to the good times, the high prices that we've had for a year. Hold on, I'm scrolling up here. Is Bitcoin birthday tomorrow? Is it? I don't know. I actually don't know. I had high hopes for fourth quarter, but Floptober killed that. Guys, we're only down 3% for the month. Okay. Now, I realize a lot of people hold a lot of alts, but I've always said you gotta have at least 50% of your portfolio in Bitcoin. If you have 50% for that stability and strength, you're doing just fine. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people are like 100% in alts, or like 80% in alts, or something ridiculously high. That's why they feel it. Or they got liquidated a few weeks ago. Last red October followed a 36% dump in November. If we close this October red, shouldn't we be concerned? Since last time, no. You realize 2018 is the bubble. 2017 was bubble top, and 2018 was the fall from the top, right? So you can't compare 2018 to 2025. So no. You got to realize why some of these years are more red than others. For example, 2022. Why was 2022 more red than some of these other ones? Because that was also a fall from the top in 2021. Dudtober is more accurate representation than Rectober or whatever else people are saying. But we still have a chance to flip into the green today and tomorrow. And if we do, then it's fine. Then we move into a Pumpvember. Incognito says, seeing my P&L this morning, I'm no longer constipated. Just stop looking at it. Just stop looking at it. Just concentrate on what matters. Everything I talk about is what matters, okay? The fundamentals of Bitcoin has never been stronger. Yes, we do have some macro stuff that can upset things. And yes, we could have some players that are suppressing things, but we have seen this before. We have lived through darker times, and we would get through it. I don't believe that. Simply Dana says, I saw a red car on a New Jersey Parkway this morning, and their back window painted Clash on Solana. Is that really true? If that's true, that would be amazing. And that has to be one of my Discord members or part of the Discord community. I could create vinyl stickers. I don't know how many people are actually going to put it on their cars. I was actually thinking about making a vinyl sticker and put it on my Ferrari and driving that around. But it's kind of like too late for that in the season. That would be amazing if that's true. Well, I see no reason why you would lie. So I'm not saying you're a liar. So I'm just saying it's unbelievable that the Clash community is that strong. I don't even know how to sound like Christopher Walken. I'm drinking a blended iced coffee with some milk. I'm hoping when Clash reaches 1 billion and Bitcoin is at 250,000, George discontinues his channel while streaming Clash content on his yacht. Probably. At some point, I'm going to retire so that I'm not going to be like doing these live streams every day. I'll probably just do like periodic videos. And yeah, I don't know when that day is going to come. Probably when Clash reaches 1 billion and my goal is accomplished. I don't think people realize what we just done with Clash. Something that no one else has done or even attempting because no one else believes in a project that much. I saw recently there's a few more memes that supposedly is hot, but they're still not bigger than Clash, nor are they doing the stuff that we're doing. For example, the Treasury. We just raised like $400,000 for our Treasury. Okay? Because people believe in a project that much. You tell me what other community project did that. being less than 2 months old. There's no one that can even attempt that. Everyone else is just trying to manipulate their meme coin, trying to get all these influencers and everyone to pump it. I have done no such thing. It's all organic. And the community is so strong. I mean, it's unbelievable. People that are fading Clash will regret it in the future. There's no doubt about it. I know that 100%. A lot of people in this chat still says, not for me. I'm not going to get into it. It's trash or whatever. You guys will be regretting it later. We're building this to be the strongest community coin in the space. We're already in the top 500 of all projects. And we have done this despite a weak market. Just think about that. We grew this much, this fast in a weak market. We're not even doing it during altcoin season. And imagine what we can do in altcoin season. And a new tournament sign up is up in case you guys do want to join in tomorrow with another huge tournament. A lot of prizes for players. Even if you don't place in the top 10, you get to win. But if you place in the top 10, you get more winnings, and spectators, the ones that will be joining, also wins. Non-stop winning, just for playing a really fun and addictive game and being part of the community. So, don't ignore, guys. Don't ignore Clash. All the descriptions, everything that you need is on the webpage. It takes 2 seconds to go check it out. And you'll be amazed at what we have done. Coinbase is down a lot today. Well, there's AI stuff I could see flipping around. Just a small correction day. You could buy Clash on Phantom Wallet by swapping, on Jupiter, on Meteora, on Pump.fun, on several sexes like Femex, Wex, Mexi, LBank. The only thing I caution is a lot of people use Base Wallet and they try to swap in Base Wallet and it swaps to some fake Clash token. So the only place that you don't want to swap for Clash is in the Base Wallet. I don't know why. They have some Base or ETH version that's listed, not the Sol version. But everywhere else you could find it pretty easily. On Radium as well. You know, what was it? These are last 3 FOMC meetings. What happened afterwards? You have a drop, and then you have a new all-time high. Let's see if this trend continues. Luke Dash Jr. said, no idea who that is, the probability of BTC succeeding as a decentralized currency is well under 50%, maybe 3 to 4%. That's just complete horseshit. It already succeeded. When the United States, okay, the greatest and biggest country on the planet, already established a Bitcoin reserve, and Wall Street already has dozens of Bitcoin ETFs, the chance of succeeding is well above, I don't know, 90% at this point. It's already matured to a point where countries are recognizing it and now starting their own reserves. So how can you say the chances of it succeeding is now 3 to 4%? That's totally ridiculous. Maybe last cycle or 2 cycles ago, you could have argued that, but that's such a stupid argument now. And I have no idea who Luke Dasher is. Any idea why Sonic is dropping like a brick? I think everything is right now. Sonic is a L1, L2 based on EVM, and they just haven't really had a lot of momentum. Right now, alts just are being sold off by retail. That's just quite simply it. Retail is getting frustrated. Retail is getting scared. A lot of FUD, and retail is just dumping everything they have in their bags. $427 million. Yeah, they would come down. Last time I checked, they were still at $1 billion. They've been slowly coming down. I'm telling you guys, a lot of fear in the market right now from a lot of retail holders are just dumping everything they have. It's unfortunate. Are we living in a simulation and Satoshi is Trump? No. Maybe the first part is right, but the second part is not. You know, let's just look at this, okay? I know a lot of people don't like to look at what has happened before. This was 2024. This was 2024. We had a really good spike. Oh, you could even go back to 2023. 2023, at the end of 2023, okay? At the end of 2023, we had a really, really good run up until early 2024. Then from March all the way to November, it couldn't break through. In fact, not only it couldn't break through, it went on a downward, I guess, channel, right? When did we actually break out of that downward channel? Well, we broke out October 14th, but we didn't break that high that was established in March until here. When was that? November 6th. So even though October we started moving upwards, we didn't break that previous high made in March of 2024, which was 73,000, until November. And guess what happened in November? We broke out and headed straight to $107,000. And that was in 1 month, 1.5 months. That's what happened last year. We broke out in November and made a 30%, yeah, no, 40%, or no, that was like more like 50% in November, December of last year. Now, obviously, we already broke through that, right? We headed up to 126, but hey, just last year, people forgot. We went through an entire year of downtrending until November, December, and that's when we broke out. That was just last year. And we're like right there too, right now. Not saying it will repeat, but history tends to rhyme. And you know what happened last year as well? Rate cuts. We started getting rate cuts as well. So, a lot of similarities. A lot of similarities. What was, just for fun, okay, let's see. At this point, October 29th, Bitcoin was at 73,000 last year. Just for fun, let's see what ETH was at. ETH, October 23rd. October 23rd. It's right here. No, right here. No, we're October 30th. I'm sorry. ETH was at about 2,500. Okay. So 2,500 this time last year to where we are 3,800. What is that? A 50% climb? So is it worse than last year? No. If ETH was lower than 2,500 now, right, then I would say, yeah, everyone has a point. Like, we've got no momentum and we went down the entire year. No, it's 50% higher. Where was Sol last year? That's an interesting one. Sol was at 100 and right here. 173. So Sol didn't do that well. Sol's barely up from last year. 173 to 186 now, but obviously it went higher, but Sol kind of stagnant. But Bitcoin certainly up, ETH certainly up. Let's look at something like, I don't know, XRP. I don't know where XRP was last year. XRP last year was down here. XRP was at 55 cents. And guess when it started breaking out? November. November is when it started breaking out. It went from 55 cents all the way to $3. So I'd say that's pretty good. Right? So again, we've gone through these periods before. And it's frustrating, I know. But, hey, this is the price of admission, all right? Like, if it was that easy, you could make money every single week, then everyone would be billionaires already. It doesn't work that way. You still got to have patience. Got to pick the winners, continue to hold them in DCA. That's really what it's about. World Liberty Financial, not really into it, man. Vladimir, not really into it. I know they have their stable coin. I don't know if anyone's using that stable coin. Obviously, the Trump family is backing it, but a lot of controversy around it. So I'm just going to stay away from it. Is this TradingView? Yeah, it is. All right, guys. That's it. Stay strong, my friends. I feel like there's just way too much negativity. Okay, just way too much negativity. A lot of people are venting. A lot of people are frustrated, I know, but we will get through it. We're at the same level we were last week. Okay, so it's not like we made a new low. It's not like we trended lower than like a year ago. Nothing like that. We're only down barely 3% for the month. We still have the rest of today and tomorrow to flip. And even if we don't, then we have November. Just like last year, that's when things start moving. So smash the like, subscribe to the channel, guys. Have a good one. Take care and check out Clash. All right.